And coordinate our first virtual groundbreaking for the city of Morgan Hill. We are super excited to be doing this for the Magical Bridge Morgan Hill Playground. But before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to Michelle Bigelow and Nicole Martin, who are kind of coordinating this today. And it's a little different because we can't all be there on site together. So we are going to be doing this virtually. So with the Zoom, Michelle will likely be muting everyone who is not the active speaker as we go through. Also, the people we see on the screen, these are the panelists, people we've invited to be panelists. In addition to the 22 or so people that are panelists on the screen, we already have over, it looks like about 30 other people that are joined into Zoom, plus people that are watching live on Facebook. And I just wanted to kind of just give a brief background on this project. We've been working on it for over 5 years and have put a lot of work into it. And every person who has their picture on the screen has been a big part of making this happen. And we'll recognize everyone on the screen as we go forward. But before we do that, we're going to turn it over to our mayor, the mayor of Morgan Hill, Richard Constantine, who's going to kick us off with some words for the groundbreaking.
Words of wisdom? Well, I first want to recognize my colleagues that are here with us today. We have the entire council. So was this agendized? So we won't be able to speak, but I want to recognize Mayor Pro Tem Yvonne Martinez Beltran, Councilmember Larry Carr, Councilmember John McKay, and Councilmember Renee Spring. And I want to let everyone know that I have my shovel ready for the virtual groundbreaking. This was a gift from the Leadership Morgan Hill class of 2011. I still have it, still even has the ribbon on it, so I'm ready to break the virtual ground. But I think we're here today, not really, I'm pinching myself thinking that I didn't really think this was going to happen. Although there is one person, or actually probably two people on this screen that knew this day was going to come, and that would be Ron and Marshall Cicero. Ron had been a champion for this from day one. As you probably know, that's one of the reasons why Ron joined the Parks and Rec Committee, because he wanted this project to come to this finish line. And there are a ton of people to thank for this event. I also want to recognize Supervisor Mike Wasserman, who will be saying a few words, but he's a humble man, so I'm going to go ahead and let him know how much I personally appreciate, and I know Ron and everyone on this panel appreciates the work that he did to get the entire amount of the grant. I believe it was $2 million that really helped us come to this day. I don't think we would have been here today if it wasn't for Mike's leadership on the Board of Supervisors. So I really want to thank Mike for his hard work, and everyone. This is like I said, this is a day that I didn't think would come this quickly. I mean, 5 years doesn't sound like a quick time, but the daunting task to raise the amount of money that needed to be raised to come to this day was just too daunting to really think about. But through the hard work of everyone here, we are here today, and just so proud that we're going to have a park that not only our citizens and our kids can use, but it's going to be used by many thousands of people every year throughout the county, and actually probably throughout the state. Magical Bridge has a great reputation, and throughout their system of parks, they are very well utilized. So we're just very proud to be joining the Magical Bridge family, and so happy that this time next year, we're going to have a lot of kids enjoying the park, and and everybody, hopefully we will be out of this COVID nightmare and be able to enjoy the outdoors. So I've probably taken up too much time that Chris has allotted me. So again, welcome everybody, and thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Constantine. As we keep moving forward through the program, our next speaker is County Supervisor Mike Wasserman. Before I turn it over to him, this is a City of Morgan Hill project, but the county is actually funding well over $2 million worth of this project. And we would not have this project without leadership from the county, as well as the team at the county as well. And I know we have the County Parks Director, Don Roca, who's on the screen as well. So with that, I will turn it over to Supervisor Wasserman.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Mayor Constantine, and thank you for acknowledging Don, our department head, who's here on the screen today. Good morning, Don, his Parks Department. They all made this happen, bringing it to our attention, the whole program. I am thrilled to celebrate this monumental occasion with all of you as a county supervisor, especially these days. It is rare, and I mean these days, that I get to be part of something fun. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a new place to play, right? And we get off of the whole COVID thing for a few minutes anyway. I did wear my shirt today, very excited about that. I did make one mistake though. I realized I texted my chief and I said, hey Christine, I'm wearing a shirt. And I meant wearing the shirt. But you gotta be careful in your text messages. I see you there, Christina. In 2017, my colleagues and I established the All-Inclusive Playground Grant Program. And again, that was through Don's help and our Parks Department. And that was providing funding for communities interested in building playgrounds that are better suited for families and children with disabilities. South County had a great need for play areas, as do all areas. But South County is special to me, and Morgan Hill is special to me. And the ability to help with all these kids with different abilities, including those with mobility challenges, autism spectrum disorders, sensory challenges, visual, auditory impairments, cognitive disabilities, developmental disabilities, and medically fragile conditions, and anyone that doesn't have any of those situations or issues going on in their life. Everyone can enjoy this park, and that's how parks should be built going forward. Quite frankly, I think that's how all parks should be built going forward. But most importantly, a place where everyone can come to have fun together. I know Morgan Hill and knew if there was a community in Santa Clara County that could put together the funds, the people, the resources, the drive to do this, it would be Morgan Hill. And true to form, you all worked together and came forward with an absolutely stellar plan. It's my pleasure to champion the $2 million in county funds, and I got to do that because we were allocated $2 million and then looked at a number of different places where we could spend that money within our district, and I chose Morgan Hill. But again, I'm going to give shout out again to you, Don, and the Parks Department for your analysis, your briefings, all the information you brought to me. And Morgan Hill's a leader. Morgan Hill stood out. Morgan Hill got all the money, and deservedly so, and it's going to become a reality. Also, and as the mayor mentioned, though, you know, the county's 2 million plus, that was great. But if we hadn't come through, I know Mayor Constantine would have come through on his own. He's that kind of a guy with a great big heart. And I could see him writing the check. But we came forward, Rich, so hold on to that money. I also want to thank all the corporate and nonprofit individual contributors that made this possible. It truly does take a village, and that's what happened. And of course, none of this would have been, what's the best way to say that? None of this would have been possible if not for the Magical Bridge Foundation getting out there, engaging the community, elected officials, numerous times on the other side of my desk. I learned about all of this because of Magical Bridges. And I've seen a number of different things happen because of Magical Bridges. And it is expanding all over the county because of Magical Bridges. And it took that partnership. Without Magical Bridges, without the city of Morgan Hill, without the money, any one of those, it would not be happening. I look forward to joining you again in person, as Mayor Rich said, with my own shovel on that date. That looks good. Absolutely, Mayor Constantine. Celebrating next year and the opening of this beautiful new Morgan Hill and Santa Clara County Park. Because believe me, I'm going to send people from all over to see Morgan Hills Park and encourage them to get together, the community members and the funds and the city and the electeds and their parks department and everybody that it takes to make this happen. Thank you all very much. Congratulations on today.
Thank you, Supervisor Wasserman.
Yes.
As we're moving through our program, I want to recognize a few other people that have helped to make this happen that are on our panel today. And the Santa Clara County Office of Education, separate from our county, has contributed a significant amount of funds to fund the outdoor classroom that's going to be adjacent to our new playground. And it's going to make our playground that much more special than anyone else's in the county, for sure.
So Mary Ann.
And yes, and County Superintendent Mary Ann Dewan is here, and our representative on the board of the County Office of Education, Claudia Rossi, is here as well. So we really thank them. And then I want to also, as the mayor recognized all the council members that were on the line, but we also couldn't have had this happen without some of our past council members that helped to make this decision, to approve decisions and make this possible. And that includes our former mayor, Steve Tate, and former council member, Caitlin Yakimovich. And so we thank them as well. And before I turn it over to one of the speakers I know you've all been waiting for, I want to recognize our Parks and Recreation Commission, who also helped to push this. Many commissioners were involved in supporting this project from the very early stages when we were partnered up with the Morgan Hill Community Foundation that helped us get this moving. And then as we transitioned to partnering with the Magical Bridge, they were helping us make that decision all the way. And we have Commissioner Neil Berman on the panel. We have Commissioner Matt Wendt, Commissioner Rick Scott, and Commissioner Maureen Grazon-Parachi on the call as well. So wanted to thank them. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ron and Shirley LaCicero. Ron is also part of our Parks and Recreation Commission, but I believe his first day on the commission, if it wasn't even the first day, it might have been before, was the day he said we need to build an inclusive playground for Morgan Hill, and that's how this all got started. So I'm going to turn it over to Ron and Shirley.
Good morning. We're just so excited to break ground for Morgan Hill's inclusive park and playground. And we're also very impressed with how the city was able to organize this event in such unprecedented times. As a retired elementary teacher, I have had the pleasure to recommend activities which accelerate learning and development of children.
You were right on.
My grandchildren, along with many other children, will have the chance to play in an environment filled with playful readiness activities to prepare them socially, physically, and cognitively for school. And they will have the opportunity to understand and experience the concept of inclusiveness.
Well, this has been quite a beginning so far. We are thrilled to be celebrating the virtual groundbreaking of the Magical Bridge Morgan Hill. As Chris has pointed out, it's been a 6-year progress to get to where we are. It takes a lot of dedicated and coordination of many people, and we are glad that so many are here to celebrate with us. Shirley and I started this project, and we got the idea for an inclusive playground by watching a TV segment that featured Amanda Baker and Tatum's Garden in Salinas. I was able to convince Marty Cheek, who is chairman of the PRC, and Chris to go with me to Salinas and see the park. On our way back, the 4 of us decided that would be a great project for Morgan Hill. I too want to thank Supervisor Mike Wasserman for all of his support. We went to see him early on, and he immediately initiated a $50,000 grant for our project. And last year, with the help of Magical Bridge and all of the others, we were able to secure a $2 million grant. We are deeply indebted to you, and we thank you very much for what you've done. I need to comment about our mayors, both Tate and Constantine. They have been complete supporters of us since we started, and all of the city council, and Chris has already mentioned them. Thank you, because I was going to have trouble pronouncing Caitlin's name. The city gave us the 2-acre parcel. They gave us $400,000 up front to get plans started, and then they finally helped us with a $2 million grant. Once again, I need to talk about Claudia Rossi, president of the Santa Clara Board of Education. She came to one of our first meetings, and from that moment on, she was 100% for the park. She introduced us to Dr. Mary Ann Dewan, the superintendent, and the superintendent and the board went into a $200,000 partnership agreement with the city for an outdoor classroom. I believe the outdoor classroom will be a model for all future inclusive playgrounds. When we were searching for major donors, I relied upon Albert Balago, excuse me. He was a former director of Park and Recreation for City of San Jose, and he was very instrumental in us getting 3 major grants from the Board of Supervisors, from the Board of Education, and the Tile Recycling Center. His efforts helped us bring in over $2 million for the park. Thank you, Albert. I'd like to reach out and thank Cecilia Ponzini of the Edward Boss Prado Foundation and Cecilia's Closet for their generous $70,000 contribution and the continued support of the park. If you want to have a definition of someone willing to help, you would see Cecilia Ponzini's picture. I need to thank the Morgan Hill Unified School District, Steve Bintando, superintendent, all the teachers, staff, and parents, and please don't forget the kids. The children of Morgan Hill designed the park, and the students of Morgan Hill raised over $20,000 in a corn drive through the school system. And again, I want to thank Chris Moore for doing that. I want to thank the Morgan Hill Community Foundation, especially Renee Springs and Michelle McKay, who kept me on the straight and narrow and helped us make a nonprofit. The current board with Pam Meador, Manuel Banuelos, Matt Wentz, and the entire board for keeping our project on moving forward. A special thanks to Alinka Villarreal, founder of Palo Alto Magical Bridge Foundation. She has helped us get a $2 million grant, and she brought us Peter Jensen, and you will hear from Peter in a minute. I think Peter, once he took over the construction drawings, he reconfigured the park and it saved us thousands of dollars. And as you've already met, Chris and Nicole, they have been with us since day one, and they've always been on our side. I need to also thank Marty and Bob from the Morgan Hill Life. Every time we needed publicity, they did a nice story about us. I'm grateful for the major donors that we have. A special thanks to our local donors, Intero Foundation, Caldwell Banker, Remax Realty Partners, Rotary Club, Kiwanis Club, Minuteman Press, and some individual donors, Carl and Jerry Reinhardt, Don Barnes, Renzo and Lisa Sanchez Silva, the Girl Scouts of Morgan Hill, Anna Gavasio, Gayla Altoff, the Shimmershine family, the Choi family, the Marino family, the Kroll family, the Johnson family, Kendra Scott, and Mamma Mia Pizza. I also need to thank my daughter, Marcia. She personally helped raise over $75,000 for the park, and she brought in the Junior League of San Jose, Kaiser Permanente, Farrington Historical Foundation, Warmington Foundation, and a lot of her Junior League members. Thank you, Marcia. Last, but very not least, I need to thank my wife, Shirley. When Rich asked me what I was going to do for Morgan Hill, I told him I was going to do something for the children. With Shirley's background in elementary ed, her idea of an inclusive playground became our project. She researched the park and she did extensive research on an outdoor classroom and sand and water play. Without her input, we would not have had either one of these items in the park. Shirley is a reason for the park, and without her support, the park would still be a dream, not a reality. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Shirley. I know you've been, Ron's been very, very patient with me this whole way through. He'd be in my office every Friday. We'd have a conversation on the status of where we're going. So we've been meeting every Friday for many Fridays. But I think this is the best Friday so far. I'm imagining.
Yes, it certainly
I
is.
agree.
So, and we've already heard a lot about our next speaker, so we will just turn it straight over to her. We will turn it over to Olenka Villarreal from the Magical Bridge Foundation.
Good morning, everybody. It is a magical, magical day, and I, join the other voices that have expressed so much enthusiasm and support and gratitude for all of these individuals, and then some. And I will highlight some in a moment. But, this Magical Bridge Playground here in the Morgan Hill community will indeed serve as a new meeting place for everybody. And what the Magical Bridge symbolizes, it really amplifies what you make very clear here, that this is a community that values inclusion, it promotes kindness, and celebrates diversity. And it is true that this project has been ongoing now for almost five years. And the team, on behalf of our team, the Magical Bridge Foundation, on behalf of myself, Jill Asher that runs the foundation with me, Peter Jensen, Maria Hasid, and our advisory members, as well as our board of directors. We are thoroughly thrilled, and we've enjoyed every moment we've spent in Morgan Hill getting to know you and really getting us to this exact moment. But really, having an inclusive playground in Morgan Hill, because of the fabric of this community, was already in the stars, because even before I had that wonderful meeting with Ron and Shirley when they came to the Palo Alto groundbreaking back in 2015. And they followed me around that day and said, we have to have a playground like this. But really, even before then, there were some very magical ladies gathering here in your community. Tanaya Rose, Anna Garbaccio, Debbie Hernandez, and Amber Blazik, and they were already also dreaming of an inclusive space. So it really was what we call sort of a magical meeting of the minds that came to this point where you as a community decided that you wanted to do more, you wanted to include more members of your community, and that's why we were so thrilled when this project became a reality. There are certainly no shortage of people to thank, but we really do also as a foundation want to recognize, we really want to recognize the strong local leadership of Supervisor Mike Wasserman, Mayor Constantine, each and every one of these wonderful council members, Chris Gioni and the community services team. Chris, I don't know if everybody in Morgan Hill knows how hard you have worked to make this day happen. And you're a very modest man, but you have been so dedicated to this project. And it's truly a project that would not have happened without your leadership. So we really, really thank you. You are all shining examples of what happens when a strong leadership team comes together and wants to do good for their communities. And today more than ever, it's such a powerful reminder that good does triumph over everything else and kindness does win in the end. So there are so many magic makers in Morgan Hill, and we have loved meeting each and every one of you. And you will hear some community voices towards the end of our time together, but certain people really, we just want to recognize that have also come forward as people that will be helping make Magical Bridge magical. So once the playground is open, it is your place to gather. It is for the families. It is for the community. Anna Garvaccio opened up her home and raised a tremendous amount of funds with her son Cruz, and Deborah Vick, Katie Cara, Roxanne's Biscottis came out to sites to help us. Kathy Rudolph, a retired special education teacher who hosted that wonderful fall festival that we enjoyed as a community, the Summershine Sisters and Debbie Hernandez, Cecilia Ponzini, of course, and the Edward Boss Prado Foundation. In short, I have to, Matt Wendt, of course, and the Community Foundation. All the elementary schools and middle schools came together, as Ron mentioned, and they contributed. So in short, this is really a monumental, wonderful community project. We know that it will be a beloved place for all of you to feel proud of being part of, for having supported. We know also that one day we will not be social distancing, and we will be able to meet again and play. However, please know that the design that the Magical Bridge comes with is indeed ready for whatever may be. We are mindfully designing this so that it is not only welcoming for every member of your community, whether they have abilities, disabilities, they're the youngest members or the oldest members in the community. It's an intergenerational place to gather, and when we can meet again, we really look forward to celebrating with you, celebrating each and every one of you, the magic makers that will soon be on the global map that says we value everybody in a community. And I've heard reference to children. Of course, we love the children. Where's our beautiful Emma Constantine, who was in the camera? It is for the children, but guess what? It's also for the people like me and those like my daughter Ava, who's now 17. So when she visits Morgan Hill, I know she'll be welcome there, and we can't wait to play with all of you. And we just thank you so profoundly. So we cannot wait to start moving that dirt in just a little while. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and have a magical rest of your day.
Thank you, Olenka. We are moving along in the program, and we are going to be moving some dirt, and we are going to get to the magical video that the foundation has put together with many, many more voices from our community. But before we want to do that, I want to take a quick second, because we do have a significant number of people listening in on this call. So the start of this, building this playground, and even when we're done building the playground, is not the end of the story. We need help. We in Morgan Hill, the team that we have, we try and do as much as we can with what we have, and we want to make sure this playground stays a gem forever. And as we move this playground forward, we're in difficult fiscal times as a city, as we know. And Christina Turner, who's on the call, our city manager, has to make recommendations to the city council. We have the money to build this park, but how are we going to maintain this park going forward? And my commitment was, we're going to have volunteers that are going to come out in droves to help us maintain this park. And many of them are the same volunteers that Olenka and Ron were talking about, that are participating, but we need more. So starting today, we are kicking off a drive for volunteers to sign up online to help support the park long-term, from everything that you may see at the Palo Alto playground, like the kindness ambassadors, to our Keep It Magical cleaning team. So even people that can help us do this to make our playground special. We really want people to continue doing that. And if you would like to sign up to volunteer, you can go to the city's website. It's morganhill.ca.gov, and click on the playground, a Magical Bridge, and you can sign up to volunteer. Additionally, we have the funds to build the park. However, we are going to continue fundraising to put money away for the future maintenance of this park. So as we go forward for this next 9 months to a year to construct this park, we are going to continue accepting donations. So you still will be able to have your name on the donor wall. You still will be able to have an area of the park named after you. So please, please continue to do that. You can reach that on the city's website or on the Magical Bridge Foundation's website for continuing to donate to support the park. And I do just want to, before we move on to the video, to recognize, Alenka did recognize some of my work, and Ron as well, but we have an amazing team at the city. You'll hear from Yacht Cho, who's managing the construction of this project, Nicole Martin, who's put in time, but our whole engineering group has spent significant time on this project. Our maintenance team is preparing with the little resources they have to keep this park magical. And then our teammates in our recreation division have spent countless hours already planning the operations for this park and how we're going to manage the volunteers. So just very proud of the whole team at the city that's worked on that. And I can't say, we'd also need to recognize our city attorney, Don Larkin, who's helped us through many different agreements with grants and our partners. So we definitely appreciate his support too. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Michelle, who's going to let us hear from some of our community voices.
Hi, I'm Renee Spring, council member here in Morgan Hill.
I'm John McKay.
I'm council member Larry Carr.
I'm so excited the Magical Bridge is coming to Morgan Hill.
Hi, I'm Christina Turner. I'm the city manager for Morgan Hill.
I'm Cecilia Ponsini, the CEO of the Never Lost Caught Foundation. John Horner, board member. Caitlin Jakovich, board member. And Betty Beach, board member.
I'm Jill Asher. I am one of the co-founders and executive director of Magical Bridge Playground and Foundation.
This is Deborah Vick in Morgan Hill.
Hi, we're the Peschke family.
Hi, this is Maria, Director of Operations at Magical Bridge Foundation.
I'm Christy, and this is, tell them your name.
Hi, I'm Albert Balogso.
Hi, my name is Marsha Lou Cicero.
Hi, my name is Debbie Hernandez.
We're here today to celebrate the virtual groundbreaking of the Magical Bridge Playground in Morgan Hill, a truly magical moment for our community. Now, I can't be there in person because we're still sheltering in place due to the COVID pandemic. But if there's one thing we've learned from sheltering in place, it's how important it is to just get outside and play. And that's what we're celebrating today.
To me, the Magical Bridge Inclusive Park is about dreams. The dream was a park where all children could play together. That dream is now a reality with this park.
We're very excited for Morgan Hill to get its own magical bridge.
We are so very, very, very excited to get this project under construction, and we know that this will bring such joy and happiness to everyone living and loving Morgan Hill.
I'm truly excited about the opening of Magical Bridge. I have been ever since I saw the playground in Palo Alto.
We are finally breaking ground on the Magical Bridge Playground in Morgan Hill.
All welcome.
Today is a very special day in the history of Morgan Hill, as we break ground to create a place for our children to play, to learn, to grow in friendship and fellowship with one another alongside our families and friends. We also want to celebrate the generosity of everyone that contributed to the building of this park. Ron and Shirley LaCicero, thank you for making this day possible.
Me and my sister raised $300 for Morgan Hill Magical Bridge.
This is a real expression of our community's intention, desire, and effort to include everyone.
I am so excited that Morgan Hill is about to break ground on its very own Magical Bridge Playground.
It's especially a wonderful day for my son and his friends, who will finally have a place to play and recreate that is appropriate for them.
The Youth Action Council is excited about having a Magical Bridge Playground in Morgan Hill because it will usher a new era of
inclusivity, unity,
equality, understanding, and compassion.
Y mucha diversión.
Yeah, and we live right nearby here. These are our dogs. Can you see them? Yeah. And we walk this park every day, and sometimes we go right past this sign. We talk about Magical Bridge, and we can't wait till it gets built.
I just want to let you all know how incredibly excited we are to break ground in Morgan Hill.
It's been my pleasure to be part of this project from the beginning, and I would especially like to give a shout out to Debbie and Christy and Amber, you ladies that were there from the beginning, and you've worked so hard to see this through. I'd also like to thank everyone who donated on behalf of my son, Team Cruz. I thank you so much again. The day is here. We're building the playground. So exciting. I can't wait to play with my son on the playground. Thank you to everyone who's part of this project.
I'm so excited that we have something wonderful to offer for the whole community.
The Magical Bridge Playground has been a project I have been supportive of from the early days when Ron told me about it many years ago.
I am so excited as a donor, as a parent, as a volunteer, as an educator to have this park here come to us here in Morgan Hill.
I know so many amazing families who have been waiting for a place where all ages, all abilities can come together and play together and learn from each other.
I'm a mother of 4 children, 2 of which have special needs. I'm also a resident here of Morgan Hill. It's going to be so special to have this playground for all children, all adults, no matter what their abilities, to feel warmly welcomed.
For the last couple of years, we've driven up to Palo Alto at least once a month to spend time with our family.
Congratulations to Ron and Shirley, and to the Magical Bridge Foundation, and to everyone who has been involved, from the many volunteers, sponsors, as well as the city and the county. Thank you all. I am so excited. It means the world to me. On my car, I still have the Magical Bridge magnet that I got years ago, and it drives with me every day.
As a grandfather of 2 autistic children, I understand the challenges of finding meaningful play opportunities for children with special needs. So I am excited that we will soon have an inclusive playground that will allow children of all abilities and their families to fully enjoy all that the playground has to offer.
Particularly in these times when we all really need something to look forward to, we are so excited to build a truly inclusive playground for the city of Morgan Hill.
This will be a lasting legacy for the children in the community, and we are thrilled that you are able to share in the excitement of our groundbreaking. Thank you.
It provides so many opportunities for so many people. This is truly a park for everyone of all ages and all abilities. And it's going to be a great park to bridge the gap between the able-bodied and the disabled community together. I look forward to the programs and activities that we're going to have. And most of all, thank you to all of the team members who are working so hard to bring this park to our Morgan Hill area. Thank you very much for making it happen.
Hey, Flory, why don't you show them where the house is? Yeah. We're going to want to walk in that house and slide down. And this is the slide. Look, it's special for all kinds of people. And Flory, show them the nice lady with the cane.
Yeah.
She's having a lot of fun.
My niece has special needs and enjoys the Magical Bridge parks. I asked my sister-in-law what makes them special. And right away she said it's the welcoming feeling that a family member or friend or child of the disability community feels as soon as they enter the park. They feel like the park is made for them and welcomes them. It provides understanding, acceptance, fun, and adventure in a safe environment. Let's break ground.
We are so grateful for all of our donors, and I want to give a special thank you to the Junior League of San Jose, the Farrington Historical Foundation, Kaiser Permanente, the Warmenhoven Foundation, and to all of our friends and family and everyone in the Morgan Hill community for their contributions.
So I'm excited to see the community come out to play with my 3 little girls in a different way and experience the magic of the Magical Bridge for years to come.
And I'm proud to have helped make this playground a reality.
And today, more than ever, the values that this community holds dear of inclusiveness and diversity are going to be represented in this playground.
We thank the city leaders, city council members, city manager, park and recreation department, all of our many donors, many donors and volunteers, and county supervisors. This is going to be such a beloved place in Morgan Hill and beyond, and we're so excited to get started. Congratulations, Morgan Hill residents and community.
It's a real asset for everyone when all ages, whether or not you have special needs, can come together, be yourselves, and feel included. And by providing a space where all abilities can play together, we're creating more understanding, acceptance, and inclusivity. And that's exactly the kind of community that we want to build.
I've had the honor of being involved in this project from the beginning, since before it was called Magical Bridge, when I was on the City Council and we approved this project. But it couldn't be made a reality without organizations like the Edward Boss Prado Foundation and individuals in Morgan Hill dedicating themselves to getting this project off the ground. We sincerely hope that this will become a regional park for everyone of all abilities to be able to come together, but the heart of this project really originated from the individuals within Morgan Hill. Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone. I'm really excited.
I'm so excited that this playground is coming to Morgan Hill, and I cannot wait for opening day.
And we can't wait to all see you on the playground.
I would like to thank everyone for all of their help and support of this project over the past 6 years.
To Ron and Shirley LaCicero, all the generous donors, Alenka Villarreal, Jill Asher, and the city team, thank you for making this a reality.
Thank you, all you dreamers.
Make it go now, make it go now. Bye, 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 bye.
Okay. That video was put together by one of the Magical Bridge volunteers, young volunteer, and she ended up finishing it up sometime around midnight last night, I believe, or later. So we very much appreciate Jessica Lang for doing that for us. And now we are going to go straight over to the groundbreaking site. Nicole, are you guys ready?
We're ready, Chris. Yacht is going to come forward and do a couple of introductions.
All right.
Good. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to the groundbreaking ceremony. We're here on site. I am Yacht Cho, project engineer for the city of Morgan Hill. I have with me today here Peter Jensen, landscape architect for the Magical Bridge Foundation, as well as Bill Burr, president of and project manager for CRW Industry, who's the contractor for the project, as well as Doug Hunt, who will be our supervisor / foreman for the project. We're very excited to have this groundbreaking ceremony. The project is $5.6 million in construction costs at this time, and we have started work this past Tuesday or Wednesday. The project duration is roughly around 9 months. We're targeting to finish by May of 2021. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Peter.
Thank you, Yat. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending this virtual groundbreaking. On behalf of the Magical Bridge Foundation, I just want to say how excited we are to be at this point. It's definitely been a labor of love. It's definitely going to be a lot of work to get the playground completed, but this is the fun part when we actually get to build it. So to everyone out there that helped, that assisted with the project in some type of way, raising money with the design. Now we have a new team on board with the contractor, so the team keeps growing to build the playground, and again, we're very excited to be here. I'm very excited to see the playground built, and can't wait to get back to this point when we're opening the playground. So thank you for everyone. Thank you.
I'm Bill Burr. I'm president of CRW Industries. I'm also the owner. I took over the company in 2000. Prior to that, CRW stands for Cooper, Rincon, and Worley. Earl Cooper started it, local contractor, South San Jose. And that was about 40 years ago. Prior to me taking over the company, it was predominantly a light commercial fire restoration, residential remodel. And in 2000, when I took over the company, we concentrated on schools and public works and parks. So we're really excited. This is, it has multiple elements that we've not seen a park that has all of these elements. And as a contractor, it's going to be really fun to actually build something that'll be here for a really long time, and it's tied in with the education. My wife is a kindergarten teacher. I showed her the drawings. She was extremely excited about it. Doug Hunt has been with CRW 12 years. He's built 6 parks and probably 15 schools, but he as well has noted the drawings, and we're excited about the different elements and the educational side of it. So we're really excited that May will be here and turning over the park and turning it over to the public. And we're just very impressed so far with the city of Morgan Hill, and just how they treat us and their project types, and very community oriented. And I can tell you that your project team treats the contractor just like as if we're your own neighbors. So we're just really excited to be here, and thank you for the project. Thank you.
All right. So now comes the coordination. So we've tried these countdowns on Zoom with more than one person doing the countdown, and it doesn't work very well. So so I think what I'm going to do is this might be kind of on the fly, but ask our mayor, Rich Constantine, if he'd like to count us down.
Well, you want us to count us down?
Yeah.
Sure. Where do you want to count down from?
5 or 10. 10. It looks like 10. It's 10.
Can you count backwards from 10? Okay. Ready? Are you ready? Okay. Start at 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. People were muted the whole time.
All right, so we have the first piece of dirt removed from the playground, and now we have 9 months to go. So just want to thank everyone again for coming out, and both the City of Morgan Hill and the Magical Bridge Foundation will be providing updates as we move forward. We really look forward to continuing to partner with everyone in the future. And I just ask if our mayor has any more comments, and after that we will be done.
I just again want to thank everyone. This was a truly a team effort, as we've seen through this ceremony, and really looking forward to this continuing. And I'm going to be putting on my social network to sign up for the Magical Bridge maintenance. So I hope everyone else does too. So again, just want to thank everyone, and especially to Ron, Marcia, and Shirley Cicero for your hard work on this. Again, your efforts have really helped us come to this day. So thanks, everybody. Sure.
Oh,
Daisy, come on.